We are now joined by Pat Leonard, Giants beat writer for the Daily News. And Pat, in your eyes, just how good a fit is this for both Marshall and the Giants?
Terrific. I think that's part of why it's such a great signing. It's great for both sides. Marshall has never been to the playoffs, wants to win a Super Bowl. The Giants need a bigger target. He's 6'4", 230, meshes well with Odell on the other side. Marshall even came in saying, I want to make Odell's job easier. He knows that defensive coordinators now will have to plan for a receiver who has 6 100-plus catch seasons. That's an NFL record. But he knows where he fits in and took a discount to play and to win.
Now, when I first heard the news on Wednesday, I thought, well, that makes sense. He gets to stay in the #1 media market and concentrate on TV on the side. How much of a motivating factor do you think that was for Marshall?
I still think it is, even though today in the conference call he downplayed it as far as saying, I'm going to have a limited TV presence from now on, as opposed to his 3 previous years on Inside the NFL. So I think he's turning his focus more to the field, but I do think staying in New York, because it's only a 2-year deal. The Giants are looking at this window for Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, the defense to win. And so I think Marshall and the Giants both know that this isn't a long-term arrangement.
Now, you mentioned the connection between Beckham and Marshall on the field, but Pat, one small piece of advice. Get a bigger notebook for next year, because with these two guys in the same locker room, I mean, how do you think they can coexist on the same team?
Absolutely. Everyone asked me how my first season was covering the Giants, and my answer is not boring. And Beckham had a lot to do with that. Now with Brandon Marshall, loves to talk, loves to get the pulse of the locker room, take it out there. And I know he has a negative history, but I don't think it's a negative here. I think that the Giants want Odell Beckham Jr. to grow up, and they think that he needs to do that on his own. They're not going to be affected by who they go out and get, whether it's a big personality like Brandon Marshall. And I think they have a good leadership there. Obviously, some things happened last year with Odell during games off to the side. But I think Marshall can be part of that group. Damon Harrison, a former teammate with the Jets. So I think he fits in well, and he's saying all the right things.
Now, Thursday's the start of free agency in the NFL. A year ago, Jerry Reese was Daddy Warbucks, throwing money around left and right and helped the defense.
Totally.
What's his first move this year with free agency?
I think it's going to be a left tackle. Now, I say that with hesitance only because there are some intriguing left tackles in the draft, like Garrett Bowles out of Utah. But I do believe that Eli Manning wants experience, playoff experience on this roster, on the offense. He said that at the end of the year. Whether it's Andrew Whitworth from Cincinnati, he'll be pricier, and the Giants don't have a ton of money to spend here. But if they're able to re-sign JPP to a long-term deal, maybe they can get a guy like Whitworth, Russell Okung, who's coming away from the Broncos, former Seattle Seahawk, Kelvin Beachum, a Jaguar. I would look at that, and then maybe at the tight end position too. I think they love O.J. Howard in the draft. They're said to be in on Martellus Bennett. I'm not sure if they really want to pay that big money, though.
Pat, keep those receipts from those notebooks. You can go through a few with this team. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Amy.
Spending the time.